There is good news tonight for the Republican presidential candidates trailing in the polls. All 16 declared candidates will get a chance to make their case on the day of the first debate here on Fox, August 6th. Chief Political Correspondent Carl Cameron on the countdown to debate night.
Way to go, Jeff. Good luck, buddy. Thank you.
There are a lot of candidates running that don't have the bandwidth, don't have the backbone, don't have the experience to get the job done. I do.
The obsession with polls is just counterproductive at this point. At this time in New Hampshire, 4 years ago, Herman Cain was winning.
Candidates across the board are prepping for the Fox News debate. All will be invited to be on stage in 2 different debates. The top 10 from 9 to 11, and the other 6 from 5 to 6 p.m. And this time an added factor, the Donald. An aide to Ohio Governor John Kasich tweeted about preparations, quote, "Imagine a NASCAR driver mentally preparing for a race, knowing one of the drivers will be drunk. That's what prepping for this debate is like." Meantime, despite the jabs, the current frontrunner, Trump, said he'd love to have Sarah Palin in his cabinet yesterday. But the billionaire Koch brothers have no love for the Donald, no data sharing, and no invitation to this week's Koch brothers policy summit with George Bush, Scott Walker, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Carly Fiorina. And Trump's boycotting a 15-candidate New Hampshire forum by the conservative Union Leader newspaper this weekend because he doubts the paper will endorse him. Now he's under fire for a 2-year-old tweet in which he decried sexual violence in the military and seemed to fault the brass for even thinking that the sexes could live and serve peacefully side by side. Quote, 26,000 unreported sexual assaults in the military, only 238 convictions. What did these geniuses expect when they put men and women together? Trump's trashed most of his rivals personally. In New York, Rick Perry was asked about the billionaire's statement that Perry's not smart nor strong enough to be on the debate stage.
What would you say to Mr. Trump if he were standing here saying that in your presence?
Let's get a pull-up bar out there and see who can do the most pull-ups.
Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, an avowed cheesehead, pulled up to the windows of 2 famous rival sub shops in Philly yesterday, Pat's and Geno's, and blew it. He turned down the traditional onions altogether and substituted real cheese for Cheese Whiz, a gaffe that tripped up Democrat John Kerry in his failed 2004 White House bid.
A menu misstep is not likely to cripple a candidate at this stage of the game, but they all know that in just 8 days, the Fox debates could amount to a make-or-break moment for any of them. And today, former Virginia Governor Jim Gilmore filed papers to become a candidate. So with an official announcement, that would make 17. Brett?
Yes, it would. Carl, thank you. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, famed neurosurgeon turned presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson takes our center seat with the panel. Even normally supportive media are going after Hillary Clinton tonight over her refusal to take a stand on the Keystone XL pipeline. The Washington Post today cited Clinton for a, quote, ridiculous hedge during a campaign event yesterday. That's not the only environmental challenge for the Democratic frontrunner. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry is covering the Clinton campaign again tonight.
In a rare split with President Obama that shifts her further to the left on another big policy issue, Hillary Clinton revealed she's tilting against the White House move to allow exploratory oil drilling 70 miles off the coast of Alaska.
I have doubts about whether we should permit drilling in the Arctic, and I don't think it is a necessary part of our overall clean energy climate change agenda.
The interview with NH1 News, a local TV network in the pivotal state of New Hampshire, came after Clinton took major static from 2 of her Democratic rivals about her environmental credentials after she twice ducked questions from a voter and a reporter at a town hall in New Hampshire about her position on construction of the proposed Keystone XL oil pipeline by deferring to the president.
This is President Obama's decision, and I am not going to second guess him. If it's undecided when I become president, I will answer your question.
It's no laughing matter for Socialist Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders, who ripped Clinton for vacillating in a statement which declared, quote, "It is hard for me to understand how one can be concerned about climate change but not vigorously oppose the Keystone Pipeline." While former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley added on Twitter, "I'm opposed to Keystone XL because we can't have a clean energy future if we rely on dirty, short-term fossil fuel fixes." The pressure from liberals over Clinton's decisions to move left on Arctic drilling while sitting on the fence about Keystone comes as the conservative PAC America Rising slammed her for twice being spotted using a private jet that burns 347 gallons of fuel per hour during the same week she pitched a major plan to deal with climate change.
Clinton spokeswoman Jen Palmieri said there could be a political advantage to weighing in on Keystone, but the former Secretary of State thinks it would be disruptive to the process, though critics say that process has dragged on. Brett?
Ed, thank you. Still ahead, Dr. Ben Carson with our panel in the center seat tonight. First, is it mission impossible? The new man at the TSA on how to fix a broken system.